Lately, after Ryan takes a bath, there are white threads floating in the water. When I ask Ryan, he just dodges the question. The night before Ryan went on a business trip, he gave me some aromatherapy oil that was said to help with morning sickness. I used it every night as Ryan instructed, and then I experienced severe pain in my lower abdomen and had to call an ambulance. When I explained the situation at the clinic, the doctor started shaking. He said it was an aroma that could endanger both the mother and the baby. Suspecting Ryan's infidelity, I called his company and found out that he had coordinated days off with Anna, taking paid leave. I headed to Anna's apartment and waited in the car. Across the street, I saw Anna and Ryan come together. I want to live together soon. If this plan works, we can send Mary back to her parents' house. If she loses the baby and becomes emotionally unstable, it wouldn't seem odd for you to separate. It's her fault for getting pregnant when I don't like kids. I leaned over the steering wheel, sobbing. Eventually, I lifted my face and swore revenge on Ryan and Anna. I'll never forgive them. I'm Mary, a 40-year-old housewife. I met Ryan at work and we got married 5 years ago. Ryan works for a major company. He's a rank-and-file employee but is serious about his work and earns a good salary. Recently, I finally achieved my long-awaited pregnancy. I look forward to the day I can meet our baby, gazing at the ultrasound photo. But lately, I've been incredibly anxious. Something's off with Ryan. Eventually, I realized Ryan's true nature, and my spine chilled. I became close to Ryan when I went on an assignment to his affiliated company and we worked on a team together. Ryan, gentle in demeanor, wasn't the type to aggressively tackle work, but he was respected by his boss and colleagues. Being someone who struggles with communication and takes time to open up to others, I developed a deep respect for Ryan. So, when he asked me out, I seriously wondered what he saw in me. When he later proposed, and I finally asked him, he answered with a gentle smile. Your modesty and seemingly obedient nature. And I like your looks too. Being petite and baby-faced was something I was self-conscious about, but his words made me feel surprisingly happy. Later, we asked Ryan's boss to be our matchmaker, and we got married. The first year, caught up in newlywed bliss, we had no significant issues. But as we entered the second year, I began to struggle with balancing housework and my job. Despite promising to share household chores before marriage, Ryan started to dump all the housework on me. Mary, I know you're working full-time and it's tough, right? But I just can't relax when the house is a mess. Ryan complained, leaving me bewildered. I keep up with the dishes and laundry diligently. It's just that I can't find the time to vacuum every day, so there's a bit of dust in the corners of the room. I wipe down with cleaning wipes every day. We live in an apartment, after all. Vacuuming early in the morning or late at night would be a bother, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess so. But I like things clean. It makes me uncomfortable otherwise. Despite saying that, Ryan's study is a total mess. I've been told not to enter, so I've only peeked from the hallway. Seeing the disarray, I was appalled. There were empty snack bags, empty cans of hard seltzer, and car magazines everywhere. His desk at work is tidy, probably because he cares about appearances. Ryan's complaints continue. Lately, the meals have been kinda half-hearted, haven't they? Just reheating prepped meals in the microwave. I want fresh meals, but this is just like store-bought ready meals. I couldn't believe my ears. To think the meals I spent time preparing over the weekend would be compared to store-bought ready meals. Look, working full-time, keeping the house spotless, and always having fresh meals ready is something you'd need a housekeeper for. Then why don't you quit your job? Ryan said with a cool expression. But you could just become a full-time homemaker. I'll work to make up for it. A wave of anxiety washed over me. It might be fine now, but what about when we have kids? Would we have enough for education costs? As I hesitated to answer, Ryan looked into my face and smiled gently. I'm just worried about you, Mary. It's hard seeing you so exhausted every day. Ryan, please, become a full-time homemaker. I took pride in my job. The environment is good, and I wanted to keep working there until retirement if possible, but I didn't want to worry Ryan. After much deliberation, and to the regret of my colleagues and boss, I resigned. I've always been shy and slow to warm up to people. But once I do, I form deep and lasting relationships. So, I vowed to always cherish Ryan, who had become such an important part of my life. Ryan cherished me too. Wait, the orthopedic clinic's doctor changed? Yeah. It used to be a female doctor, remember? When I went after a long time, her son in his 20s was consulting. He took over the clinic because his mom retired. Ryan showed discomfort when I mentioned my visit to the clinic after spraining my ankle. Then stopped going there. Switched to the clinic in the next town over where a female doctor works. But they said to keep coming until it's fully healed. No way! Ryan raised his voice unusually. Just the thought of Mary getting her leg touched by a young man makes me nauseous. Are you okay with that? I was surprised by Ryan's remark. It's a doctor's examination, it can't be helped. There are other doctors, right? From now on, we're switching to the clinic in the next town. Otherwise, I'm not paying for the visits. If Ryan disliked it, I agreed to change to the clinic in the next town. I laughed to myself, thinking how jealous he was, but it soon became no laughing matter. Next, Ryan complained about my regular hair salon. When I mentioned that my stylist was going on maternity leave and I would be seeing a male stylist next, he secretly visited the salon and then started nitpicking. That guy's not good. Paying $50 for such a haircut is a rip-off. Why don't you switch to someone else? Though taken aback, I gently explained. That's the going rate around here. Among acquaintances, he's known to be skilled. Skilled? He's just popular for his looks. He must be hitting on the clients. Don't say that. He has a wife and kids. Then it's cheating. Ryan sneered. Just thinking of that guy touching Mary's hair with his sleazy hands makes me so mad I can't sleep at night. Huh? It's just a haircut. Stop making unwarranted complaints. Despite my argument, because he was so persistent, I eventually switched to another salon. Eventually, Ryan even started to criticize me for simply going out. It's strange for a housewife to be out and about all the time. You should be more devoted to your husband. What's that supposed to mean? I do all the housework properly. I didn't quit my job just to be cooped up at home. Hey, I want to go back to work. I think I can balance it with a part-time job. No way. Ryan flatly refused. The housework will suffer. I'm supporting us, what more do you want? I was speechless at Ryan's frowning face. When I consulted my college friend Talia, she was just as astonished. Talia works in HR at Ryan's company. Ryan listens to us at work and never shows any disrespect towards women. But in private, he's like that, huh? He uses male superiority as an excuse, and it's a problem. But I don't want to argue with Ryan, and since he's not verbally abusive, I'm at a loss. Sipping coffee at a cafe, I sighed. If it gets any worse, talk to me. I'm on your side, Mary. Yeah. Thank you. I smiled in response, but little by little, going out became a burden, and I soon found myself spending my days in a gloomy mood. One day, I felt unwell for a while. When I tried a pregnancy test, it turned out positive. I shouted in the bathroom. Tears of joy streaming down my face since I had almost given up hope due to my age. When Ryan came home and I told him, his cheeks tensed for a moment before he forced a smile. Really? I can't believe it. I feel the same. Tomorrow, I'll get checked at the hospital. I'll make sure it's a female doctor. When should we tell our parents? Let's wait until we're in the safe period. Right. We don't know yet if the baby will be born safely. I was taken aback by Ryan's words, but it's the truth. For now, let's focus on having a healthy baby. However, contrary to my excitement, Ryan seemed not to welcome the pregnancy. He had said he wasn't good with kids, and we had agreed to give up if we couldn't conceive naturally. But I had hoped his feelings would change once we actually had a child. People often say they don't like kids but love their own. So, I tried to bring up baby-related topics casually every day, hoping to make the pregnancy feel more real to him. Ray, Charlie, Chris. These names are cool, aren't they? Gender-neutral names are in trend. I kept talking to Ryan, who was absorbed in his phone. What kind of names do you like, Ryan? Can't you see I'm busy? I'll leave it up to you, Mary. I couldn't hide my disappointment at his curt attitude. On another day. You're taking a day off soon, right? There's a prenatal checkup that day. Let's go together. Why should a man go? It's irrelevant. I felt my cheeks stiffen. It's strange to say irrelevant when you're the father. He added, half smiling, as if to drive the point home. I'm not good with horror movies, so spare me the delivery room. I was utterly disappointed by such an inappropriate comparison. Here I am, about to give birth, risking my life. But, plagued by morning sickness, I didn't have the energy to complain to Ryan. Nausea, sleepiness, and fatigue kept me from standing in the kitchen much or doing any cleaning. Spending the day slumped on the sofa wasn't unusual. I was worried about Ryan's complaints, but given how often I rushed to the bathroom, even he seemed hesitant to grumble. Passing the hallway with laundry, I remembered hearing the shower. That's right, after Ryan bathes, there are always white threads floating in the tub. Thinner than hair, they're about an inch long when scooped up. When I asked Ryan, after a brief silence, he shrugged with a wry smile. That's just dirt. You're slacking off on cleaning the bath, aren't you? No, it doesn't seem like that. I can't explain it well. Yeah. Let's try to clean more, shall we? I felt brushed off but didn't want to argue, so I stopped pushing. However, not wanting to bathe in a tub with unidentified objects floating, I decided to stick to showers for a while. The connection between Ryan and the threads remains unclear. Lately, I've been coming home late due to a streak of overtime and an increase in business trips. I wonder if there's a connection. One Friday, Ryan approached me with a big smile. I've got a business trip to Seattle starting tomorrow. Sorry, Mary, to leave you alone for a week, especially when you're having a tough time with morning sickness. It's for work, so it can't be helped. Take care, okay? Sure. By the way, I got something nice. He handed me a stylish white box. Inside were 7 small bottles with black lids. Is this aromatherapy oil? Yeah. It's supposed to help with morning sickness. Ryan sounded excited. A colleague's wife tried it and said it brought her appetite back. Really? How do you use it? Add it to the bath for an aromatherapy bath. It's supposed to be effective. I asked and wrote down the instructions, so use it just like this. I'm not a fan of artificial scents and usually steer clear of aromatherapy oils and incense. I was grateful Ryan wrote down the instructions. As I read the memo, Ryan emphasized seriously. Make sure you do it every day, for both you and the baby's sake. Got it. I'll thank your colleague for me. From the day Ryan left on his trip, I took an aromatherapy bath every night. There were no white threads to be seen, so I could relax in the bath without worry. Let's see, 1 bottle per a tub full of water? That seems like a lot. As I poured it into the bath, a penetrating scent rose with the steam. I hoped it would have a relaxing effect and be good for the baby too. Though I didn't notice immediate results, by the time Ryan returned from his trip, my appetite might have returned. I continued using it, hoping for the best, until the 5th day. During my bath, I suddenly felt a dull pain in my lower abdomen. Maybe it's constipation? But the pain grew more intense. Groaning in pain, I changed into my room clothes and called an ambulance. Could something have happened to the baby? The thought almost crushed me with worry. I informed them I was pregnant and asked to be taken to my regular clinic. When I tried to explain my condition to the female head doctor, she crinkled her nose. Did you put bath salts in your bath? I've been taking aromatherapy baths. The doctor frowned. My husband got it from a colleague. It's supposed to help with morning sickness. The cause of the abdominal pain is unknown, so I brought it just in case. I handed her the memo Ryan wrote and the bottles of aromatherapy oil, and she changed color, starting to tremble. Doctor? Did you use this every day, in a closed bathroom? Yes. After hesitating, the doctor informed me in a stern voice. The herbs used in this aromatherapy oil can cause uterine contractions. It's strictly forbidden for pregnant women. The baby might be at risk. Everything went dark in front of me. I felt faint but somehow managed to keep conscious and urgently requested an examination. Fortunately, the baby was safe. I was told my body would settle down with some rest. I stayed in the hospital that night and took a taxi home the next morning. Even after returning home, I still couldn't believe it. I had used it just as Ryan told me, and yet, our baby had almost been in danger. I couldn't rest until I had vented my anger. I waited until his lunch break to call Ryan, but the phone just rang on and on. Suddenly, a bad feeling crossed my mind. His recent indifferent attitude, the sudden increase in overtime and business trips. And now this incident. I've heard that many husbands cheat during their wife's pregnancy. I decided to call Talia. Sorry to bother you during your break. You know. Talia gasped on the other end. You're in a place with a signal, huh? What are you talking about? I heard you were feeling unwell from morning sickness and had gone back to your parents' place in the countryside, where there's no signal. I've been holding back on sending messages since I thought Ryan was with you, and everything would be fine. I'm at home. What do you mean? I heard Ryan was on a business trip to Seattle. I could hear Talia sigh. He wanted to prevent me from contacting you, fearing the affair would be exposed. That's what it is. Hey, which female employee is on leave for the same period? Hold on. Oh, it's Anna Kirk from accounting. Want her address? Yes, please. My anger outweighed my shock. I was sure Ryan was there. After hanging up, I drove to the address Talia gave me. The nausea from my morning sickness was blown away by my anger. I parked my car where I could see the front entrance of the apartment, waiting for Ryan and Anna to appear. My car is common, so I wasn't worried about being spotted. About an hour later, a couple holding hands walked from across the street. Ryan and a woman with flashy makeup must be Anna. Ryan, carrying a heavy-looking eco bag, looked utterly thrilled. The thought of him cheating while I suffered made my cheeks burn with anger. Wow, it's like we're newlyweds, so fun. Her high-pitched voice echoed in the street. I can't wait to live with you, Ryan. If this plan works, we can send Mary back to her parents. Divorce might be tough, but separation is safe. Ryan, looking smug, was echoed by Anna. If she loses the baby and becomes emotionally unstable, separating wouldn't seem odd, right? You're so smart. It's her fault for getting pregnant when I can't stand kids. Even after the two disappeared into the apartment, I stood there, stunned, for a while. Eventually, a fierce anger surged up from the pit of my stomach. Before I knew it, tears were streaming from both eyes. I felt so humiliated. And pathetic. I felt nauseous with myself for not seeing him for what he was and believing in him. I leaned over the steering wheel, sobbing. Eventually, I lifted my face, gritted my teeth, and swore revenge on Ryan and Anna. Ryan and Anna. I'll never forgive them. 2 days later. In the afternoon, I went to Anna's apartment with Talia, who had taken the afternoon off. I stayed outside the entrance hall to avoid being seen by the intercom camera. Hi. Oh, Talia? What's up? Talia pressed the intercom, and Anna responded immediately. Her sugary voice was grating. Weren't you supposed to finish up some documents at home? You left some materials at your desk. Anna believed Talia's lie without hesitation. Oh no, how about that? Thank you. I'll come to get them now. It's okay. I'll deliver them to your room. Really? Then please. I'll unlock the autolock. Once the door was opened, we took the elevator up to Anna's room. To avoid being caught on camera, I stayed back while Talia called out to Anna. Soon the door opened, and Anna, in a hair turban and home clothes, appeared. Taking a shower in the middle of the day, how luxurious. Maybe they were planning to cozy up later. Hi Talia, you're a lifesaver. Really, I can count on you. Anna let out a sharp scream when I suddenly showed my face. She tried to close the door, so I wedged my bag in the gap and forced the door open. Anna resignedly allowed Talia and me to enter the room. From a half-open door in the back, I could hear Ryan talking in baby talk. We tiptoed down the hallway and peeked into the room where Ryan, in just his underwear, was lowering his eyes to brush a long-haired cat. Hey you, stay still and be a good boy. I'll give you a treat later. Your fur is so silky today, the world's most handsome cat. I see. The white threads were from the white cat's fur. Of course, brushing with his shirt off would cover him in fur. So, you were soaking in the tub without even rinsing off first? And I was going in after you, while pregnant. Gross. My anger boiled over at Ryan's smug face. So, the mistress's cat is more precious than our baby. The first to notice my resentful gaze was the cat. He twitched and fled to a corner of the room in fear. Hey, what's wrong all of a sudden? Let's play with Daddy. Since when did you become a cat dad? Or did you get Anna pregnant too? Ryan's eyes widened as I barged into the living room. Why? Ryan, you're so careless. Talia appeared behind me, causing him to start. I forgot you were friends with Talia. Ryan sighed as if to say oh well, and Anna clung to him from behind. Ryan, we've been caught. It's okay, Anna. Leave it to me. His posture, chest puffed out in just his underwear, was ridiculous, and I almost laughed despite the situation. Mary, how are you feeling? I've told you dozens of times about the morning sickness. No, I mean, if you're here, you must be okay, right? Didn't use the aromatherapy oil, did you? Anna chimed in. That's why both mother and child are healthy. Oh, right. You should trust your husband more. Anna smirked, and Ryan looked disappointed. I did use it. I was so happy thinking Ryan cared about my health. Then, I was attacked by severe pain and had to call an ambulance. It was almost too late. I yelled, and Anna sweetly interjected. What a pity. A baby not wanted by Daddy might as well disappear. What? Do you even realize what you've done? You tried to take the lives of me and my baby. Not really. Ryan smirked. It's before birth, so treating it as a person is weird. Or are you just saying you're pregnant because you sensed I was cheating and wanted to draw my attention? Yeah. The morning sickness is just an act, right? They laughed mockingly. I showed you the ultrasound photo. Maybe you borrowed it from another pregnant woman. Your belly's flat, can't trust that. Could be another man's child, you know? Enough from you too! Talia scolded, but Ryan and Anna just kept grinning. Well, even if it really is my kid, I don't want it anyway. The words I don't want it cut deep into my heart. Don't get pregnant without my permission. Making unnecessary trouble. Why do you deny it so much? Is becoming a father that bad? You don't like babies? When I challenged him, Ryan frowned and snapped back. Of course, I hate it. Who's gonna take care of me once the baby is born? Ryan unleashed his complaints about me like a floodgate had opened. Mary, you were cute when we got married, but you've gotten ugly with age. And now pregnant, you're in a terrible state. Thin and pale, your skin all rough. No femininity at all. He pointed at me, ranting. How can you dare call yourself my wife? Shameful. I shouldn't have married a 35-year-old hag. Well, Ryan, you've gotten a belly and your hair's thinning, now a proper middle-aged dad. Ryan flatly ignored my comment. And lately, all you talk about is the baby. Have you forgotten I'm the main deal? As my wife, you should prioritize me. I couldn't care less about the baby in your belly. I was dumbstruck by Ryan's statement. Such childishness. It's clear that if this man becomes a father, both I and the baby in my womb would be miserable. Anna, who had been enjoying Ryan's tirade, joined in the fight. Ryan doesn't care about a 40-year-old hag. A young beauty like me is what he deserves. Right. Any young and pretty girl would do, it seems. Talia and I exchanged looks and nodded. Talia pulled out not documents but photos from a large envelope she brought. Anna looked puzzled as they were laid out on the living room table. Ryan's previously arrogant demeanor vanished, now looking uncomfortable and fidgety. Anna, you're aware, right? All these girls, they're Ryan's colleagues from the same sales department. What's this? We've gathered evidence. The fun begins now. Hey, please stop it. Ignoring Ryan's feeble plea, Talia pressed the play button on her phone. I'm secretly dating Ryan. Oh, Anna? She's like 28, right? He switched to a younger me. Ryan told me I am his ideal woman. We've been dating for 3 months. Because he's getting divorced soon, right? Office romance is tricky if found out, so Ryan said to keep it a secret between us two. That hot spring trip during his business travel was so fun. Behind increasingly shocked Anna, Ryan's expression was one of surprise. Talia, how did you know I'm dating these girls? The same days you applied for leave or overtime, I knew it right away since I work in HR. When I probed, they happily spilled the beans. They were dying to talk. Right. To a 24-year-old, 28 and 40 are both just old ladies, are they? I mocked as Anna blushed. Tears welled up in her eyes as she looked up at Ryan resentfully, squeezing out her words. Terrible. To think you were with others too. No, that's not it. Anna is the most important to me. You're the real deal, the others were just for fun. Ryan stuttered, trying to make excuses. Look, every guy needs a break, right? I can be nice to you because I vent with other women. You like it when I'm nice, don't you? I felt a headache coming on. Why dig your grave with such poor excuses instead of just apologizing? As expected, Anna became furious. What? What kind of logic is that? Why are you getting mad? You're the one I treat the most special. You should be happy. Who do you think you are? I never thought you were this kind of person. Anna was about to lunge at Ryan, crying and screaming, as I watched her with a cold gaze. What are you talking about? It's because he's this kind of person that he cheats so easily and has zero paternal instinct. He even tried to get rid of the baby. Anna stopped crying and stared at me intently. Both of us lacked the ability to judge men. Shut up. Don't lump me together with you. She snapped at me, then turned back to attack Ryan. You won't get away with making me suffer like this. That's my line. Playing the victim, but you were in on the aromatherapy oil plan, weren't you? I told Anna sternly. I've reported it to the police. Both of you will be arrested for assault. Be prepared. Of course, I recorded your confession today. Ryan looked at me panicked. Arrest? You're gonna turn your husband into the cops? If you do that, the baby's father will be a criminal. The hospital has a duty to report. I think the head doctor has already done so. I'm divorcing you, so don't worry. Ryan and Anna exchanged searching glances, then started defending themselves fiercely. I had nothing to do with it. It was all Ryan's planning and doing. Come on. When I complained about my annoying wife, Anna suggested using the aromatherapy oil to make her sick and drive her out. What? It was you who came to me saying, I'm tired of her, but divorce is difficult. Got any good ideas? Thinking of using aromatherapy, what a terrifying woman. You got a criminal record or something? That's rich coming from you. Ah, this is the worst. I did it because you said it was okay, then you cheat on me with another woman and get caught so easily. I should have never gotten involved with you. Anna wailed, and Ryan clicked his tongue. Annoying. Women think they can get away with anything by crying. Stupid creatures. Just then, someone rang the intercom. Yes, we've been expecting you. Please come in. Talia responded cheerfully, and Ryan asked suspiciously. A guest? Yes. Our manager. Anna stopped crying instantly. The manager? I broadcast our conversation, including you, me, and Anna, live on the company's group message. Then, the manager came rushing over. Ryan's face drained of color. Naturally. The manager had been the matchmaker at our wedding. So Ryan had tried to avoid divorce, fearing it would disgrace the manager, and instead attempted to make me ill and send me back to my parents' house. Ignoring a flustered Ryan, Talia let the manager in. After a while, the manager appeared, his face ablaze with anger. Oh, manager! Ryan and Anna tried to smile tensely, but the manager announced. Both of you are moving to a dead-end department starting tomorrow. What? I got caught up in this. I was about to be promoted to section chief this spring. Is my promotion going to be delayed? The manager, veins throbbing in his temple, glared sharply at Ryan. I had high hopes for you because of your diligent work, but to think you were such a person. I'm disappointed. It's all his fault. He didn't want the child, just went ahead and made one. Ryan pleaded tearfully. The manager glanced at him with an icy stare. You will not only be promoted, you will be next in line to be fired. If the business performance deteriorates, you will be the first to be kicked out of the company. Good luck with that. Ryan's expression turned to despair. The manager turned to me and bowed. I apologize for the trouble my subordinates have caused. We'll make sure they take full responsibility. Please don't hesitate to ask for any testimonies or other needs. I'm sorry for the inconvenience we've caused. I apologized to the manager. Ryan and Anna, meanwhile, sat on the floor, dejected. Did they really think they could live peacefully after treating me this way? Their audacity astounded me. I'll start preparing to go back to my parents' house with Talia's help now. Send the divorce papers to my parents' house once you've signed them. Alimony and child support will be claimed through a lawyer later. Ryan weakly nodded in acknowledgement as Talia, the manager, and I left Anna's apartment. The next day, Ryan and Anna were arrested for assault but were released on probation a week later since it was their first offense. They broke up soon after. Returning to the company, they continued to work in the dead-end department but resigned soon after due to cold treatment and rumors spread by colleagues. I received alimony, so honestly, I couldn't care less about what happened to them after that. Anna's whereabouts are unknown, but Ryan, disowned by his in-laws, is barely getting by with multiple part-time jobs. Talia said he looked miserable when she saw him on the street, a far cry from his days at a big corporation. My in-laws, who apologized for their son's actions after learning about the incident, have always treated me well since our marriage. I hold no grudges against them. They were overjoyed when my daughter was born recently. If she ever wants to meet her father as she grows up, I'll consider accompanying her under certain conditions. Looking at my daughter's innocent smile, I can't help but pity Ryan for saying he didn't want such a cute child. Being a mother is tough, but I'm grateful to be her mom. I look forward to watching her grow up with people who love her.